Pittsburgh, 80 degrees, low humidity, and we're set to go. Open the 1980 season where these two teams left last year as the AFC champion Steelers went on to the Super Bowl, and the Oilers were excused home to Houston, losing again. Frisch kicks it off for Houston. Deep to return, one of the stars of the Super Bowl, Larry Anderson for the Steelers. He's at the 10. Anderson out to the 30. He may go. 40, 50, only Frisch to beat, and Frisch saves the touchdown. Oh my, what a way to open for the Steel City Heroes. They're all the way to the Houston 38.
A 52-yard return for Larry Anderson, who might well have been the most valuable player in the Super Bowl. Accelerates up through there, as a good return man must do. And the Oilers, I think, were just so keyed that they bunched themselves into the center of the field. What a great way to start. Excellent field position.
Actually 62 yards for Anderson unofficially on the return. Bradshaw sets his line. Franco Harris on the fake. Bradshaw keeps. Oh, is he in and fumbles? Is it a fumble? No, they're marking the ball down at the 33. Bradshaw, who did not carry the ball often last year, known as a running quarterback earlier in his career, and is he dumped hard on his first play of 1980. It was Stemrick who came up with a hit.
Bradshaw, an uncharacteristic opening, pays the price. As you saw, the ball bounced free as he hit the ground.
Corrected. J.C. Wilson, 33, made that tackle of Bradshaw. Second down 5. Both wide receivers left with Swan in the slot. Stallworth wide left. Harrison Thornton. It's Thornton up the middle. Corralled at the 29, short of a first down by a yard. 3rd and 1. There's the starting backfield for the Steelers. Bradshaw with Harrison Thornton. Harris needs only 35 yards today, become number 3 rusher all time. The great wide receivers Stallworth and Swan. Tight end Randy Grossman. Offensive line, and they're big and strong. Cole, Penny, Webster, Corson, and Brown. They used to be small and quick. Now they average 260 pounds a man. And with the weightlifting program in Pittsburgh, they are very strong. 3rd and 1 at the 29 of Houston. First series for Pittsburgh. Bradshaw with a surprise 3rd and 1. Wide open. Sidney Thornton, touchdown. A play that worked so often last year. Thornton caught only 16, but 4 touchdowns. Wide open up the middle.
A play-action pass in a situation where it really came as a surprise to Houston. Sidney Thornton just comes through there. Nobody even close. Thornton takes it around and waltzes into the end zone. You go right down on the field, put on your helmet, get a look at Bradshaw. All kinds of time to throw, and a receiver wide open. Boy, they're opening with the burners on full.
Matt Barr's point after is good, and the Steelers, as Merlin Olsen indicated, he thinks they're better than ever, and nothing to disprove that position on their first possession. Just a minute and 44 seconds into the game. Pittsburgh leads by 7.
Campbell might well be the man that Bum Phillips has his eyes riveted on. Virtually shut out here last year. He may be the key. We've talked about Stabler, but Campbell needs to run if this offense will go against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Barr's kick is short and taken up at the 16-yard line and tackled immediately at the 23 as Wolfley, a rookie, and Pollard, another rookie, drop Rob Carpenter. So where the Steelers had a great return, the Oilers start at their own 23 with Stabler, the new quarterback, number 12, Earl Campbell, who has led the NFL in rushing each of his first 2 years in the league, blocking back Tim Wilson. Billy Johnson, white shoes, back in the lineup for Houston. One of the most exciting players in the league. Mike Renfro, his other wide receiver, Mike Barber, the tight end, Gray Carter, Malk, Fisher, and Heyman to protect Stabler. They start with only Campbell behind Stabler. He throws to Campbell. Bobbles the ball at the 30-yard line. Incomplete. Dan Pastorini said of Campbell, he can't catch a cold. Well, Stabler said, well, we'll prove that wrong. But the first try proves Pastorini prophetic, as Campbell unable to hang on to a relatively easy chance.
Can you imagine Campbell out in the open with the football in his hands and only light defensive backs to tackle him. It's obvious what they want to do, unable to get it done here in the early going.
Unlike the Oilers of the past, Stabler figures to throw more to his backs and more short patterns than Pastorini. Again, only Campbell behind him, a draw. Campbell draws a crowd at the 28, where it'll be 3rd down and 6. Defense for the Steelers. It's the same defensive unit to the man that played in the Super Bowl. No changes on defense. Greenwood and Green, Furness, Banaszak, Ham, Lambert, and Cole, the backers. Ron Johnson and Mel Blount at the corners. Both play man-to-man so well, with Wagner and Shell, the veteran safety men. 3rd and 6. Coleman and Carpenter now behind Stabler. Both considered good receivers. White Shoes Johnson in motion. Stabler intercepted. Mel Blount at the 29-yard line. Mel Blount has the Steelers deep in the Houston end.
Blount, a very physical defensive back. An excellent job on White Shoes Johnson. Locked up on him, man-to-man. Comes all the way across the field with him. And Stabler waits long enough, but you see right there, they just went across the screen. Probably should never have thrown that ball, and obviously underthrew it slightly. White Shoes doing a good job on the bigger Blount, getting him out of bounds.
And Bradshaw fires out to Harris, incomplete. Ted Thompson, just in case that was rolled a lateral, scampering after the loose ball. So Harris unable to hang on. Franco caught more passes last year than he has, and it's an indication that Bradshaw may be going more to that flare pass. Bum Phillips. Well, what a contrast in the two head coaches today. Phillips, kind of off the wall, take off your boots and chat a while, and the taciturn professor on the other side, Chuck Noll.
Can you imagine Chuck Noll in a cowboy hat?
That is funny. It's Dr. Chuck Noll now. We'll tell you more about that later. 2nd and 10. Harris, 3 yards to the 27. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Mike Stensrud, 67, with the tackle. Andy Doris, Curly Culp, and Elvin Bethea in that front 3 for the Oilers. Thompson, Stringer, a key. Stringer, who's been hurt. Bingham, the leading tackler for the Oilers, 54, and Brazil, the All-Pro. Wilson, Stemrick at the corners. Mike Reinfeldt, who led the NFL with 12 interceptions last year. Vernon Perry, who was sensational in the playoffs last year, number 32, the other safety. 3rd down, 6.
We have a 4-man line in there for Houston. Kennard and Stensrud playing inside. Houston trying to do some different things. Single back setup offensively, 4-man line defensively, normally employed in a 3-man setup. Obviously, they feel that if they're going to beat this Pittsburgh team, they have to come with some surprises.
And perhaps Bradshaw, in audibleizing, picks up the 5-yard illegal procedure penalty.
Offense, still 3rd down.
Ray Penny, who is replacing the veteran Sam Davis at left guard, guilty of the foul. It'll be 3rd and 12.
Dick, one guy we want to keep our eyes on, number 56, Art Stringer. He's the key to the inside of this defense for the Oilers. He has been injured. This is really his first action of the year.
Thornton, who has a touchdown catch, and Harris behind Bradshaw. Deep for Stallworth. No, it's Jim Smith, and it's thrown out of bounds by Bradshaw. Good coverage by the Oiler defense. Greg Stemrick, 27, had him well blanketed. So the fumble or the interception by Blount, and a penalty puts Pittsburgh at the 32. And let's see, yes, their goal for the field goal. Barr coming in with the field goal unit. Bradshaw's numbers from last year, nearly 55% completions, 26 touchdowns, 25 interceptions.
Young man Mark Malone, number 16 there, first draft pick of the Steelers this past year, and perhaps one they would like to see replace Bradshaw someday in the future.
50-yard attempt. It would be the longest in his young pro career. And he will still be able to boast about his longest being 46 yards. So the Oilers able to survive the pass interception by Blount. They'll get the ball at the line of scrimmage. The 32 will return to Pittsburgh's Three River Stadium, where the score is Steelers 7, Oilers nothing. Opener it is on NBC. Houston and Pittsburgh. The Steelers lead 7-0. We've played just 3.5 minutes of this first quarter and plenty of action already. From the 32, Stabler to Campbell, and he rips to the 39. It'll be 2nd and 3 for Houston. Robin Cole, 56 on the tackle.
One of the things that Houston had to do is to rebuild the left side of their offensive line. Leon Gray, number 74. They say he's our first-round draft pick. Traded their first-round choice and a 6th, and boy, that's a good deal. You see him just knocking that defender right to the ground, that big Dwight White, and he took him down, making room for Earl Campbell.
2nd and a long 3. Houston trails 7-0. 10 minutes 50 seconds left in the first quarter. Campbell again. He's shy of the first down at the 41-yard line. Stabler's passing figures to open up more running room for Campbell. Teams won't be able to key, they feel, quite so heavily on Earl, but Stabler's start today 0 for 2 with an interception, so he's gone in this sequence to Campbell.
Stabler, if he can get it going, will stay with a running game. In fact, when he was an Oakland quarterback, they had a great running game out there. He threw very few passes. He'd like to get the same thing established here and use the pass to mix it up.
3rd and 1. Campbell doesn't make it. Cole and Wagner greet him short of the first down. They love their steel curtain.
Anytime you go against a big back like Earl Campbell, you'd like to have him running sideways toward the line of scrimmage, and then you'd like to gang tackle him. That's exactly what the Steelers do on this play. They've got a lot of black shirts in on the action. They turn Campbell to the outside, and look how many guys get a piece of that tackle. They really stack him up. That's great defense.
10-man rush as Cliff Parsley will punt for Houston. Theo Bell back at the 20-yard line for the Steelers. He's about to become the all-time punt return yardage leader in Pittsburgh history. Bell at the 19. 25, 30 to the 32, so he gains 13 yards on that return. 40-yard punt by Parsley. Timeout here in Pittsburgh with 9:37 remaining in the first quarter. The score, the world champion Steelers 7, the Oilers nothing. Webster, the all-pro center, over the ball. Pittsburgh leading 7-0. Puts it in play from the 32. Franco Harris, a notorious slow starter, but what a finisher. The greatest runner in playoff history. He's had only one 100-yard game in an opener, and he gains 3 on that try.
If you can control the center man, the nose man, in a 3-4 defense, you can run the ball against the 3-4. Mike Webster, number 52, one of the strongest centers, is doing that. They're getting a little help as he gets Steve Corson, number 77, to pull. Well, let's go down and look at Webster specifically. Pushes off one man and seals off Ted Thompson on the backside, making room for that run. 2nd and 7.
Harris now needs 32 yards to become number 3 all-time. Bradshaw, is it good? What's the call? Yes, it is good at the 46-yard line. John Stallworth doing a double pirouette on the sidelines before falling out of bounds.
We talk about the graceful Lynn Swann. I don't think even Swann could have done a more graceful, more beautiful job of hauling this pass in. And of course the pass is right on the sideline, right on target. Look how he stretches full length, still keeps those toes just in bounds. That's quite a reception.
The Leaning Tower of Pittsburgh, John Stallworth, first down at the Houston 46. Bradshaw to Swann. How in the world did he hang on to the ball? Complete at the 35 in the wraps of J.C. Wilson.
One of the things that's stuck in Lynn Swann's throat for a long time, the rap from Jack Tatum, who's now a member of this Houston team, that Swann does not have courage, that he won't catch the ball inside, that he can't hang on in traffic. We'll let you make up your own mind.
Jackknifed in the tackle, and he still hangs on to the football. First down at the 35. Steelers lead 7-0. 8:20 remaining first quarter. Bradshaw pumping short, going long for Stallworth. And almost a completion of a sensational 3-part series. Stallworth toe dance sideline, Swann jackknife physical catch, and almost a one-hander to finish it off by Stallworth. Oh my, don't. 2nd and 10.
Houston needs to generate a pass rush. Bradshaw's got too much time to throw back there. He's so dangerous, you can't allow him.
Terry 3 for 6, 66 yards and a touchdown. Harris runs right over his own man Grossman, knocked out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Almost looked as if he was playing leapfrog with his blocker.
Good penetration on the part of the defense. I think Mike Stensrud pursuing from the inside. A real change in that young man from last year. Came into camp, had contract problems, was late, came in overweight, never really got on track. He's gone on a weight program in the offseason. They say his attitude has changed 100%, and they're looking for big things out of that young man.
Injury note for Houston. J.C. Wilson has left the field, a possible knee injury, and Carter Hartwig, 36, is now playing the left corner. 3rd and 7. Both wide receivers left. Give it to Thornton. Got running room. 25, 20, first down, Pittsburgh. Mike Reinfeld, 37, finally hauled him down, and the Steelers are marching for more. First report from Green Bay. The Bears have kicked a 42-yard field goal, 3-0 Chicago.
We've seen more and more of Sidney Thornton, injured through the last part of the year. He's a very valuable man in this offense for the Steelers. The ball bounces out there, but the whistle had blown. They've got good field position down on the 19.
They got the 21 yard.
Only missed by 1 or 3. 1 or 6.
7-0 the score. Again, and he gets nowhere, in fact lost a yard. Covered well as a swarming defense. Ted Washington, 59, big outside linebacker from Mississippi Valley there to greet him first.
Well, the fact that Washington's back in there would indicate that Stringer is out of that lineup. May have tested that knee and found it to be a little wanting. That would be very bad news if it is indeed true for the Oilers.
And another change for Pittsburgh. John Kolb is out at left tackle, and Ted Peterson has replaced him. We'll check to see whether Kolb, if it's an injury or equipment, he's down on the sideline. Second down, a long 11. Franco. He eluded Brazil, but got only to the 20-yard line. Reinfeld up to make the tackle from the secondary along with Stemrick. So for Harris, that's a gain of a couple more. He needs 23 more yards today to pass the great Green Bay fullback Jim Taylor, and then it'll be the top 3 runners all time wearing the same number, 32. O.J. Simpson, Jim Brown, Franco Harris. Barr anticipating a possible field goal attempt as the Steelers look at 3rd and 9.
I wonder if his pulse goes up as he's standing. I bet it does.
Barr has really aged. You know, he looks 18 this year. Swan right, Stallworth left. Bradshaw to Thornton. He crossed him up, and Thornton all the way to the 4-yard line. Everybody looking pass, and Thornton gains 16 up the middle.
That's the big danger of guessing with a quarterback. The Oilers made the mistake. They came with a pass rush. Bradshaw hit him right up the middle. Thornton broke clean into the secondary. An easy first down. Watch it for yourselves. Those defenders looking for pass. Thornton picking his hole right there. Big Larry Brown, 79. A good block right there on Brazil. And Thornton rolling, twisting. A hard man to tackle.
Bradshaw deflected away, intended for Stallworth on the back line of the end zone, and a flag is down. Appeared to be Jack Tatum, 28, who got a piece of the ball.
Like contact, number 54, defense, blow to the head, ineligible downfield, number 77, offense, penalties all set, still first down.
So Bingham guilty of a blow to the head, and Steve Corson, 77, the right guard, an ineligible receiver. You can understand that Corson, although he is 6'1" and 260 and has the upper body build to make any weightlifter proud, even with that kind of physique, he can dunk the ball from a standing start. He'd like to get out and catch one.
He's so big, maybe he just looked like he was downfield.
Shadow. The shadow read 77. So it's play it over. First and goal from the 4. Harris to the 1. Franco Harris, just a couple of touchdowns away from number 3 all time. He would pass Leroy Kelly. Is at the 1-yard line.
This Oiler defense, the backbone of this Oiler team for so many years, they're going to have their feet in the end zone. They've got to try and stop a very, very physical offensive line and some very tough backs in this kind of situation.
Less than a yard away from adding to their 7-0 lead. 2nd and goal. Thornton and Harris behind Bradshaw. And Thornton in motion. Harris, is he in? No. Stopped right at the goal line. It'll be 3rd and inches. Andy Doris, 69. Submarining low. Getting help from his linebackers, and as they unpile, Vernon Perry helping out Doris from his safety spot along with Greg Bingham.
I think that ball is just about nose up to the goal line. Wonder what Bradshaw will have in his mind for this play.
3rd and goal. He's tried Harris twice. Harris with 72 career touchdowns. Leroy Harris 74, or Leroy Kelly 74, just 2 ahead of him on the all-time list. Franco again.
Pittsburgh Steelers probably run more traps and more short yardage traps than any team in football. They call that P10, P11. The quick trap by the guards up inside. 77, Corson, the man who comes across the trap. Franco ducks right up in behind him. A difficult play to stop. Right down in the pitch. You see Corson coming across, cutting people down, and Franco just squirming his way into the end zone.
He knows the way. Here's Barr's point after try. Colquitt to hold. Splits it. And Pittsburgh with 3:47 remaining in the first quarter, flexing its muscles. It's the Steelers jumping in front of the Oilers 14-0. In Pittsburgh, Terry Bradshaw has led the Steelers to a couple of quick scores. It's 14-0. Other scores: St. Louis 7-0 over the Giants first quarter, Minnesota 7, Atlanta 6 in the first quarter, and the Bears lead Green Bay 3-0 first quarter. Kickoff goes to Carl Roaches, and the little 5'6" return artist gets it out to the 31 for Houston. Carl Roaches. He's been out of football for 2.5 years. Was driving an ice cream truck in Houston last year at this time, and one of those typical Bum Phillips free agents. He goes out and finds them driving cement trucks and ice cream trucks and firemen and what all, and they've all come to contribute at Houston. Stabler, as he begins this series trailing 14-0, is 0 for 2 passing, 1 interception. Intercepted. Mel Blunt on the ricochet, intended for Barber, broken up by Lambert. Blunt has 2.
It's unfortunate that that will go as an interception. Kenny Stabler put the ball right into the hands of Mike Barber. Barber tightly covered by Jack Lambert. The ball actually went through his hands. You'll see it here. Stabler back, and he gets the ball off. Little pump fake, gets it on target. Now watch Lambert coming across, gets there right as the ball does. The ball simply bounces into the air. That's credited as an interception, but certainly not the fault of the quarterback, and nothing that Barber could do about it either.
Well, this first quarter has been played in Pittsburgh's hands and mostly in the Houston end of the field. There goes Bradshaw for Swan. Complete at the 10-yard line. J.C. Wilson had good coverage. A perfect pass from Bradshaw to Swan. 30 yards.
This is kind of deja vu, Dick. The last time we were here at the beginning of a season last year. A game expected to have all the drama and build that this game did. And yet, the Steelers just came out and dominated the game. Partly because of people like Lynn Swan and passing like that from Terry Bradshaw. Well, you cannot beat that.
It's just a perfect throw. You can't fault Wilson. He had him covered. 1st and 10 just outside the 10. Bradshaw! Touchdown! Swan! No, they say no good. That Swan did not have control, although Bradshaw's going to argue the point. He thought Swan had pulled it in and still had control and made his steps in the end zone. What a
watch the official on top of the play. He's watching it all the way. Now the call here is obviously control of the football. Bradshaw has the pass on target. Stallworth gets a hold of it, but bobbles it right there. Looks like he pulls it in, but the official watches him all the way to the ground. Another quick look at it.
You talk about deja vu in the corner of the end zone. It's a tough call. Remember Renfro at the other end of this field in the playoffs. 1, 2.
I said Stallworth. That's obviously Lynn Swan.
What did you think? Inconclusive?
No, it's hard to tell from here.
Second down. Incomplete. Stemrick and Stallworth, and Stemrick did a good job forcing Stallworth out of the end zone. Bradshaw dumped it away. We'll take another look at that Swan play. It's pretty tough to tell because he was doing it. His feet were so quick. Maybe we can freeze it as he catches it and see whether he got both feet down, and perhaps it'll just be academic. Third down and 10 at the 10. Here it is again.
Judge for yourself. Now the rule says he's got to have both feet in bounds, has to have control of the football. Bobbling it there. Looks like he's pulling it in. Does he touch down with both feet? Does, but still needs to control it before he gets to the ground.
Tough call. I thought it was a touchdown. Almost intercepted. Bradshaw very nearly threw that one away and right into the arms of Art Stringer. So one interception by Blunt led to a long field goal miss, and now Barr will come in and try to convert this interception.
When the field is short, you get down into that 20-yard line and going on in. The defense very often can come with a blitz. They know that it's easier to cover man-to-man. Not as much room for a receiver to get loose. They did it there. Thompson in on Bradshaw, forced the bad throw, and nearly an interception.
27-yard attempt by Barr. Hits the upright and goes through. A flag is down as Barr kissed that one high off the right upright and carried him through. Now let's check the penalty.
Offside, defense, decline, field goal is good.
So it's 17-0 Pittsburgh as Barr hits the upright.
Ball bouncing Pittsburgh's direction today. Off to a firing start. Right to the inside. Dropping down for 3 points.
Now let's go to Brian Gumbel in New York. And of course, throughout the course of this year, Brian Gumbel will be in our New York studio. Chuck Noll, 49 years young, in his 12th year with the Steelers, and he is building, if he has not already done so, a pro football dynasty. High kick and short. Barr to Jeff Groth to the 20, 30, 37. Best field position for the Oilers as Groth takes it out to his own 37-yard line. Turn top spot along with Montreal. That's Tuesday night on NBC. Stabler first down. Has his first completion as an Oiler to the 41-yard line, and you knew it would be to someone playing a tight end position. Rich Castor has the grab. Oh, how Stabler liked to go to those two big tight ends in Oakland, Chester, Casper, and he likes Barber and Castor here with Houston.
One of the raps on Stabler is that he is not a mobile quarterback. He did a fine job of eluding big number 75, Mean Joe Green, to get that pass off.
It's about a 5-yard gain. Second and a long 5. Quick dump to Campbell, and he dropped it again. That's a replay of the first play of the Oilers series back in the opening minutes.
Stabler disappointed. The ball right on target. Campbell had it. Looked like Campbell just tried to run with it, and that's anticipation. He's so anxious to get going into that secondary. Watch him here. He turns his eyes away from that football before he tucks it away, and I think right in junior high school they start teaching you. Watch that football until you get it tucked away.
Can't run before you have it. Third and a long 5. Ronnie Coleman replaces Campbell. He's regarded as the best receiver of the Houston Backs. Stabler staying in there, and it's going to be intercepted again. Donnie Shell has it this time. First down at the Houston 43.
Phillips got to be wondering if his team is snake bit. It seems like every time the ball is bounced today, it's bounced right into the waiting arms of the Pittsburgh Steelers. You can see a very happy Donnie Shell. He's got one. Blunt's got two. Again, this goes as an interception to Stabler. But watch this. Stabler has the ball on target. Great play there. Bounces the ball up. Wagner right on top of the receiver, and Donnie Shell alertly to pick it up.
Mike Wagner made the play, a fumble, and Houston says they've got the turnover, their first break of this first quarter. And now the official signal, it's Houston's ball. Hardly enough to bring a smile to O.A. Phillips' face, but at least it's a positive turn for his Oilers with 1:18 left in a long first quarter. The Steelers in front 17-0.
Let's go back again and watch Bradshaw get an idea of what happened. Thornton into that line. Ball stripped away by the tacklers. Looks like the Houston defense said, hey, let's take this into our own hands. We need a turnover now.
And Stabler to throw. Complete. And down to the Pittsburgh 43-yard line with a flag down. This would be the first invasion of the Steelers' half of the field by Houston. Donnie Shell made the tackle. Castor with a grab. And it's not going to count. Holding against Houston.
He's healthy, and he said, I feel too good. He said, maybe that's something wrong, and obviously a little bit prophetic as he's nursing a bad ankle today.
Stabler 1 for 6, 5 yards, 3 interceptions, 2 on deflections. Mike Barber wrestled down at the 39.
To be a tremendous amount of frustration in that Houston huddle and along their bench. They've pointed so hard for this game, Dick, and maybe too hard. Maybe they've burned themselves up. Maybe emotionally they've drained out a lot of their energy in preparation for this game. As we said earlier, the Pittsburgh approach was business as usual. They let the natural build of this game get them ready. Houston appears to have suffered perhaps by building too hard toward it.
Blitz is on from Wagner. Open is White Shoes, and he drops the ball, and that one almost went in Mel Blunt's hand. Blunt didn't see it. He bobbled it right toward Blunt. Incomplete. And Stabler's receivers have been rather unkind to him in his Houston debut.
One of the things we should talk about, Kenny Stabler has only been with this team a matter of weeks, and it takes longer than that to build the kind of communication, the kind of confidence between receiver and quarterback. White Shoes obviously could have caught that football. I'm sure feels he should have caught that football, and maybe by the end of this season, or at least midseason, they will be catching those footballs instead of dropping them.
3rd and 14, trailing 17-0, final seconds of the first quarter. White Shoes in motion. The throw to Johnson is over his head. He was well covered. Both Blunt and Wagner there for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the steel curtain gets another standing ovation from the fans on the near side. Cliff Parsley and the punting gang in for Houston. Theo Bell deep for the Steelers, solo return man at the 21. High spiral, 16, breaks a tackle. Hartwig missed him, and Bell gets out to the 23-yard line before Jeff Groth can make the stop. 45-yard punt and a 7-yard return as 10 seconds remain in this first quarter. The Steelers lead here at Three Rivers 17-0. Elsewhere, it's 3-0 Cincinnati over Tampa Bay in the first quarter. New England leads Cleveland 3-0 first quarter. It's 7-7 the Giants in St. Louis in the second period. Minnesota leads Atlanta 7-6 in the second quarter. No score second period. San Francisco, New Orleans, and Chicago and Green Bay tied at 3 second period. You're up to date on all the scores. Bradshaw, Thornton, and Harris behind him from his own 23. Hustling his way out to the 27-yard line. Greg Bingham, who has led the Oilers in tackles the last 5 years, made the stop as the gun sounds, ending the first quarter in Pittsburgh. After the first 15 minutes, the Steelers, the Super Bowl champions, leading 17-0. 17-0.
Griff story later.